All right, so let's model our ear. Now, my references here, obviously the ear, the side view, the ear is covered with hair. So chances are it won't be the case for you. But in my case, I have to go in here. I'm going to hide my IP layer, okay? And I'm going to bring in an ear IP layer that's separate. Now, very important here is that this is not to scale. I'm going to model my ear separately, and then when I attach it, I'll scale it down and edit it as necessary. Okay, the other thing is I don't want to have my head visible, so I'm going to turn off my eye, and I'm also going to add my head to a layer. In this case, I'm just going to call it half head, because that's what it is basically right now. All right, and I'm going to hide half head. Okay, so let's go into our side view and discuss why the ear, particularly a photorealistic ear, is complicated. It's because it has all this complexity to it in terms of these different loops. You've got the Y, the sort of Y loop inside that's inside here, and then you have this loop that curves around on the outside. So let's just mark this out in this demo. We're going to just create a face, okay? And I am going to rotate that face minus 90 degrees in Z. And I want to attach the Model T so I can see through it. So I'm going to assign existing material, Model T. However, my Model T, I got rid of the transparency for now. So I'm going to now right press over it and say Material Attributes. Let's go to Model T and let's bring back that transparency. There we go. Okay, so let's mark out the outer rim here. I'm just going to go in here to vertex and I am going to start to move things around. So I'm just going to go in here and mark it out. Something like that, okay? And then once I've got that first element, I'm going to hit extrude. And since I'm in an orthographic view, I can just grab from the middle here. And again, I'm going to use vertex and my move tool pretty much at every extrusion. Okay, so and I can hit the G key to just repeat the last action. So that does the extrude, and I'm going to move that here. Okay. So I'm going to hit G again. And it gets a little complicated here. We have to sort of focus in on this Y. Everybody's ear is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to hit G. So just be aware that this is probably where the ear attaches to the head right there. Okay. I am going to extrude again, holding down G. And I can also rotate and just make sure I'm using one of the colored loops. And then maybe even move and probably go into vertex mode ultimately and move that around. There we go. I'm going to go into edge, hit G. So it's somewhat repetitive here. Obviously at each, I want to keep it, you know, down. It depends on your ear, like how many edge loops you're going to end up with. Obviously there's more than what we have right now on our head, okay, but we will deal with that later when we're attaching the ear. Okay, I'm going to select that, G, and let's go here and rotate, okay, vertex. And maybe it's just a question of kind of doing this as quickly as possible, and then we can move all the vertices at the same time. Hit G again, just bring that down, hit G, bring it to here, and maybe now rotate it a little bit. Okay, hit G, and rotate, hit G, hit G, and now definitely rotate, and now I'm going to go in here to vertex, and because this is pretty big in terms of what that's doing. Go to edge, hit G, and this, I'm going to go in here and use my move tool and bring that around. Okay. All right, something like that. All right, very nice. Now we want to mark the Y out. All right, so I am going to, again, create a plane. I'm going to rotate it, -90 in Z. And I am going to assign existing material, model T. Okay. And this time, let's just mark this out as best we can. I'm going to go in here, vertex, and I'm actually going to kind of start here. What's interesting with this is that it actually let's go in here to edge, and I am going to hit G. Let's see, no, G does not work. Let's extrude. Oh, I'm going to go into vertex mode, move tool, vertex mode. Here we go. I'm taking in the entire Y element. Okay. Because we'll talk about splitting this in a bit. I'm going to hit G, and that actually kind of goes underneath, but let's just go in there, and I think that's probably enough for now. Let's just do that. Do that. And in the ear that I'm modeling, this is actually seems to be fairly flat here underneath from that point on. Okay, so I'm going to go in here to edge. I'm going to hit G. I'm going to bring that down and maybe go into vertex mode. And just move again, just marking out the main areas. I'm going to hit G. Going to rotate. Maybe I can just move again. Going to hit G. Move. And rotate. All right, and hit G. Looks like I may have gotten off track here with the last few. Yep. Okay. I can fix that pretty easily. I can just go into vertex mode, take that, and I just need to scale all in this direction. So that flattens it out again. Okay, so that was just a very quick fix. I'm going to go back to the side view, and I have to be a little bit more careful with how I go about doing the extrusions. Okay, so that's that. There. Edge, hit G. There we go. And move that. And actually, all right, let's just do partial. There we go. And edge. And here we're going to sort of match it up with there. And move that in. Edge, G, rotate it. there. So again, I'm kind of just doing this pretty fast because there we go, marking this out. Okay, and I will have to see. I'm not too sure about that triangle. Let's bring that in, sort of something like that. There we go, for now. Yep. All right. Ultimately, I may need to put an edge loop through here. But I've basically created the two loops. I'm going to go in here, go to object mode, select, shift select those, delete the history, and move into the next demo.